All right. Okay, January 29th. It's 10:17 a.m. right now. I'm in my room and it's been it's been pretty crazy. I'm going to try to keep it maybe under 5 minutes, okay? That's what I'm going to try to do. Basically, I wanted to talk about what happened yesterday, right? Yesterday was sort of a cathartic experience for me. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing yesterday. Long story short, Stephanie and I have been having a lot of troubles, right? We've been on and off throughout our entire relationship, and in a lot of it was because I didn't have a good handle on what I was going through. I didn't have a good handle on my depression, right? And my depression is, multifaceted. It consists of a lot of things, a lot of components, but what it comes down to at the end of the day is confidence, self-esteem, all that shit. That's what it comes down to. And I didn't have any of that, right? My depression got better since MIT, but at the same time, as a person, you're complicated, but at the same time, you're simple too, right? You come up with complicated explanations for why you are the way you are. You blame your dad, your mom, you blame the environment that you grew up in. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's simple. Sometimes it's just don't be a bitch. Just do what you have to do. So that's how I would describe my situation, right? It seems complicated sometimes, and there are a lot of different root causes for why I was depressed, right? Aside from just being too sensitive and being too hard on myself. Aside from that, there were other root causes, but at the end of the day, I think it was just about developing a sense of self-confidence and sort of regaining that too, because I used to be, I am a valedictorian of my high school, right? Bam! And so, there was that confidence, right? In my intelligence, in my ability to succeed. And so, but then I lost that somewhere along the way when I, dropped out of, okay, I didn't drop out. I withdrew from MIT, came here. So there was a lot of self-doubt, and I had a lot of trouble overcoming that. And when I first came here, that's when I met Steph. And it was amazing, I always tell everybody that I meet, the day I met Steph was the first date we ever had. I saw her. She was a moving assistant in my building. I saw her and I was like, whoa, she's cute. And I talked to her and we ended up hanging out the entire day. There was a concert at the end of the day. It was a concert that they put on for transfer students. And we decided to ditch it because we didn't know what the fuck they were saying. It wasn't fun. And so we decided to leave. And then we went to walk around Westwood, and that's the first time we ever explored Westwood, and we did it together, and we stayed together ever since. And so I always think that was like super, it's kind of magical in a way. But yeah, throughout our relationship, it's been on and off. I've been really unstable a lot of the times because I didn't have a good handle on everything. And then I just noticed yesterday that maybe it wasn't yesterday, maybe it was the day before yesterday, that I had been very selfish. She had always been there for me. Always. And she took on a lot of my burden, and I didn't realize that until a couple days ago. I realized that in the beginning, right? When she asked me, she was like, hey, just share what's going on with you. I want to be there with you. I want to be there with you when it happens, and I want to help you through it. And I was hesitant. I was scared. I was like, what if she freaks out? What if I give her a little bit of what I'm going through and she doesn't accept it? And so there was that initial fear, and then when I did, there was a sense of, okay, I think I can do this. I think I can share a little bit of myself with her. And a little bit became a little more, and a little more became a lot. And what really happened was I sort of tuned out. I tuned out that aspect of my life. I tuned out the fact that she was this important part of my life, this important person that always shared the burden with me. I tuned that out, and it kind of became background noise until I completely forgot about it and took it for granted. And I became this self-absorbed person that always focused on how to improve myself and how to be better and how to be more confident and how to be more successful. At the same time, I didn't realize that the root of that success, the root of that confidence, and the root of that sense of security in myself all originated from this one person, right? And her name's Stephanie. And I'm always going to love her for that. And it's the first time in my life I ever experienced unconditional love and what that truly meant, And at the end of the day, I think I do unconditionally love her. So, there's that. But a week ago, I did something that was pretty unforgivable. A week ago, I started to have feelings for another person. Kind of, not really. It's confusing. But it's the easiest way to put it in a sentence, okay? But to explain it a little bit more, what happened was we had broken up. And the reason we had broken up for, I think, the final, the last time was because I just started to notice differences in our personality. We were just kind of at different points in our life. And obviously, I'm sensitive as fuck. And I'm just really intolerant when it comes to other people. I feel like I'm very sensitive, I'm very pessimistic, and I didn't accept her the way she accepted me. And that's something that I have to work on. And I think that comes from the fact that, if you don't accept yourself, you don't have any room for acceptance of other people, right? If you don't have an understanding of what your flaws are, if somebody else has the same flaws as you do, you're not going to have that understanding for them. Well, that's the case for me anyway. And so I started to notice a lot of just differences that I couldn't get over. And I finally realized, this is affecting my schoolwork. And it always has. Every time we break up and every time we get back together, there's always, that's, honestly, our relationship is the reason why I have as low of a GPA as I do. Okay, our relationship and my inability to handle that kind of stress, additional stress, is the reason why I have a low GPA. But that doesn't matter. We broke up for the last time, and it was horrible. She cried, and I felt like crying, and then that was it. But at the same time, the next day, I went to a Red Cross Club meeting, and I met this girl, and we kind of, we hit it off. I had met her before, and so I already knew her, and so we started talking a little bit, and we walked home, and what actually happened was I got locked out. Right, I got locked out of my apartment, and I didn't have keys. Steph wasn't home, so she couldn't let me in. And so what happened was I started texting people. I texted, this girl that I met at Red Cross. I texted my high school friend. I texted another friend. And I decided to go to that girl's house to pee, right? And it wasn't anything. I just wanted to pee. I had to pee really badly, and so I went to pee. And when I got there, I just decided to stay. She was like, why don't you stay? Aren't you still locked out? Yeah, I'm still locked out. Okay, why don't you just stay then? And I had all my stuff. I had all my books and everything. So I was like, okay, I'll study. But instead of studying, what we did was we talked for 2-3 hours until it was 12 midnight, And we got along really well, We connected over a lot of things, I think. This is my side of the story anyway. And, yeah, she was really cool to talk to. And I guess in the moment I thought, whoa, am I starting to like her a little bit? What is this? But then I left. Steph came back, she let me in, and then that was it. But the next day, that girl and I started texting. We started texting a lot. And we sort of just texted throughout the entire day. And there was this feeling in the pit of my stomach where I was just kind of I felt confused. Is this me liking her? Is this me not liking her? Or what am I doing? Am I vulnerable? Am I confused? Am I just rebounding off this person? And what I think it was, now that I see it, is that, when I was with Steph, I mean, the problem was that we didn't see eye to eye on certain things. She's this really incredibly sweet person that wants the best for me, and man, we loved each other so much, but we just had different views on relationships. For me, it was, I wanted a girlfriend and I wanted friends. With her, and I think this is just a testament to how loving she is. She just always wanted to focus on one person. And I think whoever that guy is gonna be the luckiest guy in the world. And yeah. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say, yeah. And so I was confused because suddenly I think now that I think about it, that girl, the reason why I talked to her a lot and the reason why I might have gotten confused is because I was always guilty about having friends because of just the way I knew Steph thought about relationships and the way they should be. And that always sort of prevented me from being as social as I wanted to be. And when I talk to this person, I talk to people a lot, right? But I guess I always keep it very professional. I always keep it like, oh, hey, dude, are you doing that thing for this club? Hey, you should send me that data later for the lab, right? Okay, for sure, like, oh, the research, right? Did you upload the data so, our PI can look at it? Yes, things like that. It was very light and professional, and it was just like, I just connected a lot with people really quickly, and then I just never hung out with them. But this girl, it was a little bit different. She was like interested in talking to me, and we didn't talk about work stuff because we didn't take classes together. We were in the club, but we didn't work together in the club. And it was just like, okay, it was just two people getting together and getting to know each other, and that's why it was good. And I guess I confused that because I'd been with one person for a long time, I guess I confused that kind of connection with, like, liking her. When in the end, all it was I was just happy to have a friend. And maybe in the end, there was a little bit of that in there because I was confused. It's like, oh, okay, maybe I do like her a little bit, but then I was confused about whether or not I like her. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to be technical, because I ended up lying a lot to Steph in that past week. I actually hung out with Grace a lot. I went to the I wasn't supposed to say her name. I hung out with her a lot. I went to the library. With her and a friend, right? And I took her to class. It was a weekend class. It was actually a weekend CPR instructor training course. Took her to that twice. Texted her a lot here and there. Flirted with her a lot. And I lied every time I did. Every time Steph asked me, do you think you like her? Do you think you have feelings for her? Why are you flirting with her? I lied. Consistently. And it was pretty awful. And I started to doubt myself a lot. I think the day before yesterday, I completely lost all faith in myself. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know who I was anymore. And because when I was a kid, I used to be this really honest person. I was the kind of kid who, when my mom gave me a pencil, like a number 2 pencil to take with me to school when I was in elementary school, if I broke it, I'd feel so guilty that I couldn't do anything for the rest of the day. And I would come home, and then I would tell my mom to come into my room. I would sit her down and tell her that I broke a number 2 pencil. And that's the kind of kid I was. And I think I deluded myself into thinking that I remained some kind of integrity and I remained an honest person. But I realized I actually changed a lot. I lied a lot more impulsively, to my friends and to Steph. So yesterday, or the day before yesterday, when I came back from the library from hanging out with that girl, Steph confronted me. I was taking a nap, and when I woke up, she was there, and she asked me all these questions, and she basically figured out the fact that I had been flirting with her, and that there was something going on, and neither of us really knew what was going on at that point anyway. I was still trying to figure out what the hell I was feeling. I mean, I know what it is now, but I was still trying to figure out what I was feeling, and Steph had no idea. She probably just expected the worst, and she walked out. And then I called my friend and talked to him a lot. And then I called her, the girl, and I came clean about what I was doing. I said, yes, I've been hitting on you. Yes, I've been flirting with you. It hasn't been subtle. I've been trying to flirt with you. And I said I can't do it anymore because I'm hurting someone I care about a lot. And I can't bear to see what it's doing to her. And I said that, literally, verbatim. And now we're good. Now we're friends. I told her that after being in a relationship for such a long time, all I needed was a friend now, anyway. And so we're good now. But yesterday, just spent a lot of time thinking about what I had done. And I texted Steph. And I said, if I know I don't deserve a second chance, and I'm not asking you to take me back, but if you want an explanation for why I did the things I did, I can give that to you whenever you're ready. And if you don't care to hear that explanation, then that's totally up to you, and I understand. And so it's what happened. And when I got home, she said, "Can you explain now?" And I said, "Yes." And as I was explaining what happened and why I was the way I was, I actually started to cry a lot. Like a lot. Like it was like an ugly cry. And it was the first time that week that I had been completely honest with her about everything that had happened. Just completely honest about everything, my feelings, what I did. And it was good. I felt like such a liar up until that point. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. It's definitely not the person I wanted to be. So it felt good to do that, to tell someone I love and care about the truth. And I told her, I'd always love her, and that I wasn't good for her, that I was selfish, and that I didn't appreciate her, and that I knew that she couldn't trust me anymore, and that what she deserved was someone who treated her the way she treated me. And so we are definitely broken up now, and we're both trying to move on, and I think I'm going to move out, for sure. Just need to find a place to stay. And the ball's in her court for now. She can do whatever she wants. She can if I see her, she can say hi, and I can say hi. If she wants me to ask her about her day, I can. She wants me to hug her, I can. Yeah, it's all up to her. I think I've done enough damage to the point where I kind of want her to make her own decisions now. Before it was me and my emotions calling the shots in our relationship. It was an emotional roller coaster. It was up and down all the time. And it was always based on how I felt. Because she was always this amazing, cheery person, this sweet person who always accepted me for who I am. And I was always the person that was unstable. So I want her to make decisions now about what to do with us, and I want to respect that. I want to be able to respect that. And I think I'm just gonna have to learn how to be a decent person again, I guess. And yeah, that's it for now. There are a couple of other things that I need to talk about, and I think this daily video thing is gonna be a thing. I don't know if I'm gonna post it online anywhere. I'm gonna have to talk to Steph about it to see if she's chill with it. But if she is, then maybe I'll just post it online. Maybe that'll be a part of my weird little emotional rehab where I try to become the kid that I was, and I try to be as honest as I can be, to everybody, and I'm not ashamed of it. I am ashamed of what I did, but I think this is a way of sort of leaving something behind so I can look at it later and be like, okay, I learned that lesson and it's not going to happen again, maybe. Hopefully. So yeah. Alright. I do a shitload of work now. Boom. Alright. See ya.